Welcome back, returning subscribers, and welcome new viewers. This is my little corner where I love to sit down and discuss all things knit and crochet. So how is everyone this week? I hope you are doing well. I hope you are happy, safe, and I hope you're staying cool. We've had temperatures going up a little bit here in Northern Illinois. Today's high is going to be 87 degrees, so it is 8:30 a.m. when I am making this video quite early, as I have other chores I need to finish before it gets too hot. So I have been a little bit more busy this week working on my projects. I have a finished object here to show you. Actually, I have two. I don't think I showed this in a podcast. I showed this on a YouTube short. This is just a cotton headband that I knitted using a kitchen cotton, which is a 4-weight cotton, and a size US 8 knitting needle. And I just done garter stitch, and it was knit at each end. It was knit 3 stitches at each end every row to give it a sort of a ridge band, and then the rest was just no, my apologies. It was a plain stockinette stitch. I can feel it now. Yeah, just a plain stockinette stitch, and then the knit 3 at the beginning and end of every row. So that's how I made that. I think there was, not sure how many stitches, 16 I do believe. So that's how I made that. And then just measured and sewed the end, and the sewing seam is in the back. So just a very simple headband. The other finished object I am wearing, this is the My Version ranunculus, and I knitted this in a 3-weight, and I do have the yarn over there. I will show you in just a moment. But I finished it. It's perfect length. Sits right at just about a little bit above my hip. Perfect with a pair of jeans. So that's finished, and I'm thankful for that. I have plenty enough yarn left over for the baby blanket that I am working on. There is a couple in our congregation that is having a baby. She's due in September, so I'm working on that. Also, I put out a tutorial for all of you a few days, let's see. It was Monday that I put it out, Monday evening. So if you're curious about it, I'll show you the blanket. And if you would like to duplicate that and make one yourself, you can go watch my tutorial. It's just a quick 12-minute tutorial showing you how the trick of it was the yarns, where you place the yarn in the beginning so that you could carry it up the sides using 3 different colors of the same weight of yarn and same fabric of yarn, all 100% acrylic. So let me get the yarn for this. I don't believe, well, I may have one here in my basket down here. Yes, I do. This was the yarn I used to make My Version ranunculus here. This is Yarnsmiths Create Double Knit, and it is in the shade Parchment, which is 3060. It took, for my size, I am a 1X. I kind of hover in between the 1 to 2, but more, this is a 1X that I am wearing. And it took a little over 2 of these, about 2.5, almost 3. So if you get 3 of these, you'll have enough to make this. If you make it short sleeves. If you make it longer with long sleeves, you'll probably need closer to 5. So, all right. And once again, there it is. And I just did the bottom, the same ribbing as I did up here for the neck. It's not too hot to wear today. Not too bad. It is acrylic, but I made it loose, and there's the holes here, and it's breathable. So I'm going to go with it today and see I get by with wearing it throughout the day. It's all, well, we'll just have to see. If I get too hot, well, it'll have to be off with the t-shirt and I'll have to change. So those are my finished objects. And if you are new here and want to make this, I have a pattern for this. It is not a pattern by purchase. It is just a pattern by a complete 3-part tutorial on my channel. If you go to my main homepage and you see playlist, find playlist, scroll all the way down, it will be the My Version Ranunculus part 1, 2, and 3. I walk you through step by step the entire process, and you can make one of these for yourself. So, similar to the ranunculus, but not exactly. I call it the My Version Ranunculus. So, all right. That's finished objects for the week. Now, I do have some whips, and I showed you last week I was working on this, and I am sorry to say I may be frogging this out. Yeah, I know, it's a shame, but as you can see, it's miles too big. It's massively big for me. I'm working on the front piece, and I've almost got it up to the 15 inches, which is kind of sad. I had the back piece finished. I know. I should probably just keep going with it. This is a tutorial out there by Sheila's Just Knitting. I've almost got it finished, but I'm just not digging it. I'm just not into it. I don't know why. I think it's maybe the stripes or just the, it's a wonderful pattern. And Sheila by Sheila's Just Knitting has a complete tutorial out for it, how to make it. She's making hers a long sleeve cardigan, which I'm thinking I'm going to wait maybe until cooler months and then do a cardigan. My arms are way too large. Way too large. You can see that's going to hang way out, which what's going to happen is if I don't get enough sleeve on it, it will show my undergarment, which I do not want. And yeah, well, I'll have to wear a t-shirt underneath it anyway, and I really want a top where I don't have to do that, because we are getting into the heat of summer, and this is cotton polyester. I really want to make something that's just, I can wear with just the top itself, nothing underneath really. So this is not going to work for me. This would make a great cardigan sweater. And I'm finding out too, I ran out of this denim blue color. All I have is one of these, and then plenty of this color here. But I'm already casted on something else. My mind is kind of stuttery today. I think I need coffee. Oh, forgive me. But anyway, yeah, I know. I got so far, and then I just lost the momentum, discovered it was going to be just way too large, and well, you know how it is. You know how it is. Sometimes not everything you knit is going to become a finished object, and that's fine. That's fine. You're the boss. You are the boss of your own knitting and crochet. So I have plenty of this color here, Drops Cotton Light. And I want to mention, I checked last week, and it was 85 cents for one of these. 85 cents, Wool Warehouse. I will leave a link in my description. Hopefully it's still that price. If you're really wanting some, this is a, like I said before, 50% cotton, 50% polyester. It's a 3-weight using a 4mm needle or a 6mm, a 4mm or a US 6 knit needles, what it recommends. I'm using the 5 because I casted on something new with it. Okay, I have a lot of this color. I don't have much progress on it yet, but I'm going to try to pick it up here without knocking everything off. Oh, goodness. I got tangled, too. And I'm in the middle of a row. I am making the Cornflake top by Kodavakika. whose name is Veronica. I will leave a link for that too, if I remember, for her. She has a tutorial. I did not get the funds to purchase the paid for pattern, so I'm just kind of following along, you know, with her tutorial, looking at the photos and trying to wing it the best I can. If I get stuck, then I will purchase her pattern. I don't normally like to do that. It's just that right now money's tight. I can't afford it, so I'm just going to try to see if I can make one. It's a lovely, lovely pattern. The cornflake top. She's quite the designer. She has got such beautiful designs. I just love a lot of her things that she makes. Yeah, but I thought I would give this a try in cornflake blue, or not cornflake blue, cornflower blue. I don't even know if that's the name of it, but that's what I'm calling it. It doesn't give me a name. It just says color number 54. So, but to me, it's like a cornflower blue. So that's just the start. I'm just doing the back neck here, so I'm just getting a start on that. I am using a size US 5 knitting needle for this. It starts up here at the back of the neck, and I'm just making the little thing for. So I have a long ways to go on that, and my yarn got tangled. So that's what I started. Just started that yesterday afternoon. Didn't work on it today, so I'll get to it this afternoon. When it's too hot to be outside, I'll be in here knitting. Yes, yes. In the AC, probably. Well, garden is thriving. I already have tomatoes this big. A lot of green ones coming on already. And the okra that I planted, that was an experiment because I never planted okra here in Illinois. Didn't know if I could get it to grow. But I purchased, I always purchase heirloom seeds from Decorah, Iowa. They are called Seed Savers Exchange. They are a little bit pricey, but here is the beautiful benefit of those heirloom seeds. Those seeds, many of them, will seed themselves. The lettuce that I have growing in my garden all came up voluntarily and went to seed. Just massive amounts of it. I'm going to be relocating that. And I've got a few plants over in the other one of my tubs that I'm going to let seed there and start it there and pull out. Because I like to rotate my crops, you know, in my garden every couple of years. Got green beans there. Those always grow wonderfully. The heirloom seeds are better than the hybrids. I think. That's my opinion. I think they are. And a lot of them, they just automatically pop up every year. A few years ago, I had cherry tomatoes that would just, a lot of the green ones would drop towards the end of season. And by about mid-June, I'd be having plants coming up automatically. And every year, I never had to plant them. They always came up voluntarily. So, Seed Savers Exchange, Decorah, Iowa. You can look them up online if you're interested. So, all right, now for, one more knitted whip that I've got going on. I kind of sat this down and didn't work on it for last week. But this is just a little self-drafted pattern. It is a 1x1 rib. I'm making just a one button cardigan, just a slip over, barely any sleeves, crop length, just something to throw over my arms and button, just in case, you know, just in the fall of the year. Oh, there went my hair. I apologize for that. My hair can get kind of wild sometimes. Goodness, that was embarrassing. But anyway, I am knitting this up, and you can see I just have a lace yoke. I do have a tutorial for lace yokes. If you want to make that raglan going down with the lace yoke, that's what I call the lace yoke. I have a tutorial showing you how to make a sweater. Now, the tutorial is for a pullover, but you can modify that by just stopping and then going back around one way and then the other. You could do that, and then you could make it long sleeves. The tutorial is short sleeve. So easy. It's pretty simple if you know how to knit. I walk you step by step through that. So there you go. Also in my playlist, and you'll see it. It will be the sweater that's white with blue. And I'm getting a message. So I may have to pause this. Okay. All right. So I'm working on this. You know, when I get a message through my phone and I'm feeling, goes my train of thought. Yeah. Anyway, I am using very unique yarn, and I showed you this last week. It looks like a little rat tail right now, but I have 3 more. I misquoted. I have 3 more of these, and hopefully I have enough to finish. I think I will, because I am almost done with the yoke. I have about 3 more inches to go, and I will be finishing this one, probably tapping into another one. It's going to be close. It's really going to be yarn chicken full on. Yeah, and I do not even know what this yarn is. So if I do not have enough to finish, it's risky. Because if I do not have enough to finish, I have to frog the whole project out and start something else, which will probably be a shawl. It'll probably be a shawl, which will be nice. I mean, this is a very soft, it looks like mohair. It's wanting to make me sneeze. I don't know if it's, I could just tell by the fibers it's a faux mohair. I don't think it's a real mohair, honestly. But you know what? I do not know. I have a full skein over there. Let me get that, because if any of you recognize this, let me know. It was one of those, I got in a bag at the thrift store. There was 4 in the bag. Here it is. That's the full skein. That's about the true color. It's making it seem slightly brighter on screen. It's like a blue-gray with this silvery gray thread running through it. See that? Silvery gray thread running through it, and it looks like a mohair. So I'm just working on that. Hopefully it'll be enough to finish that. We don't know. So I hope so. But anyway, I'm not going to cry too hard if I don't. All right, the next thing I'm going to show you is the baby blanket I was just talking about. I have not picked it up anymore. This was the 3 different strands. As you can see over here, there's a strand of yarn that I'll be picking up. Over here, hold on. Over here, there's a strand of yarn, and I'm working with 3rd strand here. So what you do is go down, and I'll be picking up this, coming back, and then picking up the color. And like I said, if you're wanting to know how to do that, go down to my playlist. It's just a quick 12-minute tutorial, show you how to begin that and how to work this pattern. This is a moss stitch pattern, but with the color combination, and it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'm choosing more neutral colors because I do not know if they're having a boy or a girl. So I'll be working on that. The 3 different yarns I'm using is, I lost my train of thought for this. This is a Yarnsmiths brand too. Yarnsmiths create in the parchment and in the cream. And then this is, I'm going to get a label. I've got it over here. Yeah. Lagoon. Lagoon. That was it. See, I never would have remembered. I had to go get the label. Yarnsmiths Lagoon was the third color. And this has a lot of pinky purple, and I'm just taking out the pink purple and just using more of the gold and the wheat color that's in there. And then I also have another shade of Lagoon over here. This is Lagoon yarn too, and I'm not using the dark purple. I'm just using the very light purple and the tan colors in that. So that's what I got going on with that. So I'm working on that, and I'm using a US 5.5 crochet hook for that. And I went up a size. This yarn here is a 3-weight. It's all a 3-weight. Oops, it's upside down. And it recommends a 4mm crochet hook. I'm using a 5.5. So I did state that in the tutorial to try to go up a size or a size and a half. You can even go 2 sizes. I wouldn't go any more than that if you're making a baby blanket because there'll be holes. So you want the drape, which this has, but you can see you can't really see through it. There's not the holes, a lot of holes for baby to get fingers and toes stuck into. So, alrighty. Now for the last crochet thing. What we got, 22 minutes? Okay. Try to go it along here. I'm making my son a zigzag blanket. Well, we call it the chevron. He bought himself a car, and he wanted me to make some seat covers out of this. He wanted them retro because his car is retro. It's an older vehicle, so he wanted me to make him like an Afghan. There'll be a seat cover. He wanted shades of blue with green, black, gray, so I'm working on that, trying to get it. I made this just like I made my blanket, only not as wide. I think I went a foot shorter in the width because I made mine for my queen size bed, and it right now when I drape it over the sofa, it fits the entire sofa down the leg. So I made this just a little bit shorter in width. So that's my progress. I'm trying to do, 4 rows a day. And I got this big bag of just odds and ends acrylic yarn. I've got 3 weights and 4 weights in here. So this is just an odd and ends project that I'm using up odds and ends, which I need to do that because I have a lot of yarn that's odds and ends. I don't have a lot of yarn that's, I have probably 4 or 5 different yarns that are ready to go for larger projects like sweaters or anything. Nothing majorly big enough for a blanket. I have Drops Andes in Minty Rose Mix. I have a lot of that. That is a thick 5 weight, almost leaning towards 6. And I could make a throw blanket with it, but let's be real. Who's going to want to wash out by hand a wool blanket? It can be done. Only thing I could do is maybe put a sample in the little gauge swatch, measure it, put it in the washing machine, and then take it out of the washing machine, lay it flat to dry, see if it shrinks or felts or anything like that. If there's no shrinking or felting, that could be possible to knit a wool blanket and then just lay it flat to dry. So that may be. Anyway, I've talked your ear off long enough. Getting thirsty, getting a little warm with this on already. I'm not sure if it's going to work the rest of the day, so All right, well, with that being said, I'm going to let you go now. Be sure to check out my playlist if you're interested in those tutorials, as I mentioned. I will link Coat of Akika's cornflake top in my description, as well as Wool Warehouse yarn sales down there as well. I will pull up for you the Lagoon yarn, the Yarnsmiths Create, and the Drops Cotton Light. So, with that being said, all of you take care, as my face is getting red now. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again on the next podcast. Bye, friends.